Dear Journal, the year was 1819 when I had just gotten done listening to John Quincy Adams give one of his famous speeches. In his speech, he had expressed his thoughts about how they should expand the land to the Pacific Ocean. Adams had felt that it was his destiny to expand all the land to the Pacific. Later on, during 1847, John Adams and I were talking things over about the expansion of the land. John then sat me down and said, "I have a story that will help you understand everything that has gone on." He described it as the Southwest would belong to the Native Americans during this time. This region was called the New Mexico Territory. The territories the natives owned were Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, and some parts of Colorado. Before the Spanish arrived, Pueblo and Zuni Indians were the ones who irrigated and farmed the land. Not all natives helped out. Some, for example, hunted for their food, like the Apaches. I know that here at home, if we did not farm the land and go hunt, we would not get food for that night. The explorer Juan de Ante was the one who had claimed the territory. The territory had been known for its trading. Spain refused to let the Americans settle in New Mexico. When this went on, my family and I were furious. We wanted a new place to call home. Later on, after Mexico had won its independence in 1821, Americans were finally welcome. After we had got the news, we were so excited we celebrated. Then, William Beckner was the first to head to Santa Fe. William was the one who led the group of travelers on a trip. They traveled from Franklin to Missouri, then across the plains. They had finally arrived to Santa Fe, and they were all very eager to trade with one another. Captain Gaspar de Portela was led a group of missionaries up to the Pacific coast. The chief missionary was Father Guanabara Serra. He was the first one to build 20 other missions on the coast. The missionaries were there to help out many people's family members that had died due to mission work because it was one of the hardest things to do. It was my job to help and comfort them and care for them. We needed them to feel good and know that everything will be okay. During the election of 1844, Manifest Destiny played a huge part in the election. The Whigs had nominated Henry Clay for president. The Democrats chose a little-known name such as James K. Polk. Everyone later found out he supported the expansion. When the election day had come, the Americans showed they favored expansion by electing James K. Polk as president. I would be a fool not to agree. After John Quincy Adams had told me the story, I was amazed. We finished talking for a little while longer, then we went on our ways. Right now, everything has kind of been crazy around here. We had just sent a treaty to Mexico. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, forced Mexico to cede, give the U.S. all of California and New Mexico. In return, we would pay $15 million and respect the rights of Spanish-speaking people. I would not pay that much money to anyone for land. I don't care who you are. Can't we just get along? A few years after the Mexican War, the U.S. had finally completed the expansion of the land. The land they had purchased was called the Gaspin Purchase. Now we have a mix of cultures. It's a good thing, but sometimes it's not easy being with people who don't understand your culture. Well, that's enough of my opinions. You wouldn't want to hear the rest of them. Until next time. Christina Turner.